The first presentation is from Ms. Eri Maru Ono from Hamada Company Limited. Hello, I am Maru Ono from Hamada Company Limited. Today, I would like to talk about the reuse of solar panels and for the recycling service, which is part of the many businesses that we do. Before I go into the content, I would like to briefly give you an overview of our company. Hamada was established in 1972, and we have a head office in Osaka. We have sites in Osaka, Tokyo, Kyoto, and Aichi prefectures. And for any projects nationwide, we cater to those projects through these offices. I would also like to talk about our main lines of business. We have mainly three businesses, which is metal scraps, demolition service, waste management, and energy solutions. In the industrial waste management service, in addition to plastic and metal scraps, we have photovoltaic cell and mercury-related industrial wastes, which are said to be difficult to treat. For energy solutions, we handle reuse of lead batteries. So our main line of business, as I mentioned, is taking care of industrial waste. And so we also focus on reuse and recycling services of discarded photovoltaic panels. We're one of the first companies in Japan to be working on this business. And inside of Japan, photovoltaic panel treatment has become a big issue. In Japan, solar panels became very popular from around 2010, and a lot of solar panels were installed. The life limit of these solar panels is said to be around 20 to 30 years, and it means lots of panels will be discarded around 2030. The Ministry of the Environment has an estimated quantity. According to that survey, by 2040, 40,000 panels or 800,000 tons of solar panels will be discarded. However, reality is that the discarded panels already exceed the estimate, and that is because there have been typhoons and earthquakes and other disasters that have led to replacement of solar panels. Already many panels have been discarded, and so treating these solar panels has become a big challenge for Japan. And that is why Japan is working urgently to recycle these solar panels. So now that I have talked about the situation in Japan, I'd like to mention how there are many countries around the world that have solar panels. There are countries such as Vietnam, Indonesia, Thailand, and other countries that have many solar panels installed. But before the life of these panels are up, disaster events could cause the panels to be replaced. If the panels are discarded in developing countries, what could happen? Well, solar panels contain some metal materials, and so the useful metal material will be taken out, and other materials may be going to a landfill or could be illegally dumped, and this will lead to polluting the environment and health hazards. So why do these discarded materials lead to health hazards and environmental pollution? Well, the reason is due to the structure of the solar panels. Solar panels are structured by glass, metals, and plastics. Some panels have lead and arsenic. And these are hazardous materials that need to be handled with care. In the previous slide, I mentioned that useful materials such as metal are taken out of the waste, and the remainder will be disposed illegally or go to landfill. Now, as you can see on this slide, the really useful materials, such as the metals, is only 20% of the solar panel. The remaining 80%, including the hazardous elements, glass and cell sheets, will be discarded. So if people have illegally dumped the remaining 80% or put that into landfill, you can easily imagine that this will lead to health hazards and environmental pollution. And so in order to solve these problems, Hamada has started the reuse and recycling service of solar panels in Japan. First, we do an appearance checking of the discarded solar panel. And we identify which panels can be reused and which ones cannot be reused. For the panels that can be reused, we sell the panels to domestic and overseas clients. In the past, we have sold over 150,000 panels. For the panels that are not fit for reuse, we will be recycling it so that it does not need to go to landfill. And this is our recycling scheme for the solar panels. First, we dismantle the aluminum frame and we use our equipment, which is called AFLD1, in order to dismantle the aluminum frame. And we remove the frame without crushing the glass. If the glass gets crushed, it really becomes difficult to recycle the glass as raw material. And so, dismantling aluminum frame without destroying the glass is a key factor. After the frame has been dismantled, the glass and cell sheet will come out and they are attached together. We use a hot knife technology, which heats to 300 degrees Celsius, and we use that to separate the glass and the cell sheet. And there will be no impurities on the glass or cell sheet after the separation. And therefore, it is possible to recycle each material. Aluminum frames as aluminum, and then glass as glass, and cell sheets as cell sheets. Each material can be recycled appropriately. We can recycle all of these materials, so using this technology can help to prevent environmental pollution and health hazards. Up until now, I have talked about Hamada's technology in Japan. Hamada also focuses on our overseas business. We have been selected to do a project survey for JICA. And even though it is not a solar panel project, we are currently doing a survey on the reuse and recycling of lead batteries in Côte d'Ivoire. And we are also certified by JICA as an SDGs partner, as a company working on SDG issues. Going forward, the reuse battery survey that we are doing for JICA and the solar panel that we are working on, we hope to be combining these two in order to provide electricity to areas that currently do not have electricity. We strive to really try and contribute to a sustainable society that can really help to preserve people's health and their living environment in developing countries. If you have any questions about the content I've presented today, please come to our booth or contact us to discuss more details. I look forward to talking with you. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Ms. Maruono. Now, let's move on to the next presentation. Next company, Wastewater Company Limited, Mr. Hiroyuki Sogawa. Thank you very much for the kind introduction. I am Sogawa from the International Business Division of Wastewater. and thank you very much for this opportunity. And today that I would like to talk about I would like to introduce our latest innovative solution for wastewater treatment, which is called Pre-Treated Trickling Filter System, or PTF. Next slide, please. And first of all, let me brief you on my company, Wastewater. We are one of Japan's largest engineering companies in the water and the environment fields, and sales and number of employees are as described. And we have offices in Vietnam, Cambodia, Singapore, Netherlands, Switzerland, Germany, and the United States. And our technology includes the ceramic membrane filtration system, ozone generator, a sludge incinerator system, and the pre-treated trickling filter system, for which that I will spend more time today. Now that I would like to talk more about the PTF. So this system is composed of 3 key technologies. The left-hand side in green is that FSF, and the second one in orange is HTF, and the right one on the right-hand side is called SLS. So these 3 functions. And particularly the advantage of this system is energy saving, or use less energy. So comparing with the existing the activating sludge system, that it spends more or less energy. And from here, I would like to explain the details about each system. First process is FSF. This FSF is composed of a unique filter media and the upside screen and the backwashing equipment. So the raw water flows into FSF from the bottom. And since the water flow from the bottom onto the upper part, as it's indicated with arrow, the water flows in this way. So then in that process, that SS or insoluble BOD are removed through the filter media. Then at some point of time, and in order to clean those substances which are caught, been cleansed or washed out. So that is the feature of this technology, or this process. And next is the second process, which is in the middle, HTF. This process itself are being is the updated or renewed technologies of the technologies existing in the United States or in Europe. And so conventional trickling filters have some problems like clogging of water spray nozzle or odors from sludge and having insects such as flies. And therefore, that we have renewed this system or replaced those existing conventional systems. So we use some filter media to resolve this issue. And this process itself is as shown on the upper left, that the filtered water from FSS is sprayed out by rotary water spray nozzle over the media. So by periodically clean these media, that we are able to maintain the cleanness. And the last process is SNS, and this we saw with HDF. The some residuals from the previous process will be effectively removed with this process. And so that's the process of the system. And so from the upper left, that incoming water, and going through the different process, the treated water, which is shown on the bottom right. So from on the left-hand side, that SS and BOD have that almost 90% of them have been removed. This slide shows that the certification issued for certification for the overseas activities given by the Japan Sewage System Sewage Works agencies, which was with which that presentation made. And our technology has been evaluated by that evaluation committee. And as a result of the evaluation, that we are honored to be awarded the certificate of technology, of our technologies. With this, we are proudly develop our technologies overseas. So I have explained the benefits of PTF, and let us compare that system or technology with other existing treatment technologies or processes. And what I would like to point out here is the power consumption. Power consumption is much lower with PTF process. With PTF process, which is in yellow column, 0.1 kilowatt hour per cubic meter, meaning that with this process we use or we spend only the electricity for this much of electricity per cubic meter. And looking at the other process, for example, on the left-hand side, conventional activated sludge process needs 0.4 kilowatt hour per cubic meter, so that a quarter of the electricity is required. And if you look at the floor space, that the floor space for PTF process is 2,050 square meters, which is smaller than the other process. So for those countries in which the available area or space is limited, this process PTF is attractive. And this is a case of a project at Hoi An in Vietnam, and this technology was adopted. And also in Phnom Penh in Cambodia, again, our technology has been adopted, and currently construction is underway. And lastly, I have summarized the merits or benefits of the PTF. There are four. Firstly, stable treatment performance. Secondly, extremely low power consumption. Thirdly, small environmental footprint. And fourthly, easy operation and maintenance. So these four merits can be provided through our service. And to conclude my presentation, I would like to thank you all for the invitation and giving the opportunity.
1点お知らせですが、
And one point of information. So there's the presentation booth and the online presentation booth and available, and the number of the companies presenting this afternoon are actually also attending the presentation and exhibition too on the line. So please take a look. Next company is HORIBA Limited, and Mr. Leo Yasukawa will be presenting. Hello, everyone. My name is Yasukawa from HORIBA, and thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity. And today, I would like to talk about the HORIBA applications in the environment area. So this is the agenda for today. First of all, I would like to introduce my company. Our company, as you see in the slide, was established in 1945, and this is the Kyoto company and manufacturing sales services of analysis and measurement equipment. And 60% of the employees are non-Japanese, and more than 70% of our revenue comes from outside of Japan. Our motto is joy and fun in English, and this motto was created by our founder, Mr. Masao Horiba, and so making our day-to-day working life joyful and fun to make our overall life joyful and fun, and that's where it came from. And this shows the images of business domains, and we are engaged in manufacturing in a B2B business, and I believe that the end users don't come across products directly, but we make contribution in the field of measurement. And today I would like to focus on these the red marked business domains, focusing on environment. HORIBA has 5 core technologies with our characteristic expertise. From left, gas flow control, infrared measurement, spectroscopic analysis, particle size distribution analysis, and electrochemistry. And these are used in the automotive, the process environment, semiconductor, science, and medicine. And this shows the locations of HORIBA. These are just examples of global activities. On the left bottom, there's a box, and depending on the country, we work on the air quality, water quality monitoring, R&D, mobility, and the blood analysis. So we have a number of businesses in a wide range of countries. And for information, in Morocco, as you see on the left bottom, we work with JICA, the business support initiative based on the SDGs, and in Morocco, we plan to join the project to measure the PM 2.5. Next slide and onwards, I would like to explain the products. First of all, the air quality monitoring system. In HORIBA, we have AQMS, air quality monitoring system, and in the fixed stations and also mobile stations. On the left is a shelter. On the right is a truck. And so in the rear of the truck, we have analysis equipment and also the meteorological measurement equipment. And also in both applications, as you see in the middle, there's the integrated analytical equipment, analysis equipment in a 19-inch rack system, and you can combine the measurement equipments and instrumentations at will, and we can make a proposal according to the needs of the customer. And in the area of air quality monitoring, as you see on the left, we can measure the NOx, SO2, CO, O3, CO2, PM. and such parameters. And at the same time, we also provided a monitoring system for the meteorological parameters such as temperature, relative humidity, precipitation, ambient pressure, and so forth. And with this, we can capture the air quality. On the right is the image of the air monitoring, and this is connected by the internet. And in the central control room, you can monitor the air quality. And the number of stations for monitoring is determined by area or by population, or unit area or unit population. In typical cases, on the right side, you can see the yellow dots and also the blue dots. So this shows the simplified monitoring systems, and these are quite affordable and simple. And by using these simple system, you can increase the density or the concentration of the monitoring points. But then what's important is to have AQMS because the simplified system, the data from a simplified system has to be calibrated to the extent of the reliable data. So we add to those simplified system the AQMS to increase the reliability of the overall system. And next, I would like to explain about the stack gas system in the power plant, and also the steam boilers, glass furnace, and the petroleum refinery, and also the waste incineration system. Our system is applied to make sure that there's no hazardous material or gas is not emitted. And this is about the water treatment and monitoring of the water quality. We have the monitoring system for the water supply, water treatment, power plant, and municipalities. And by integrating all the know-how of the offline and online systems, we try to reduce the burden on the environment, and we can respond to the very high level and sophisticated needs. And so this is a water quality monitoring system, WQMS, we call it, and we have this applied all across the world. And in addition to this, in addition to the online monitoring system, we have offline instrumentation as well. So we can make a proposal of the business on those products as well. And this slide shows how our instrumentation and the instrumentation network is applied in the actual factories, and you can see the practical locations and what parameters are monitored. And on the left bottom, you can see the desulfurization and also denitrification, and this the air can be monitored before and after the treatment. And in the plant, there's the needs for monitoring the water quality and also the exhaust, but there's the air monitoring system in the boundary of the factory as well. And this is the last slide for me. And this shows the importance of continuous monitoring, and this is about the reliable certification and the verification associated monitoring system and how important it is. So the lab analysis is quite important. In addition to that, online continuous monitoring and the measurement is very important. With the reliable equipment and instrumentation, making the measurement happen in a continuous manner is very important to formulate the regulation. And if the government can formulate the practical and the optimum regulation for the quality of air and water, then it's going to be contribute to the betterment of quality of life of people. And this is the contact information here. If you have any questions, please contact me to this contact. So due to the restriction of time, I could not share with you all of the products that we deal with. And the next slide, there's the appendix page, and explaining the importance of operation and maintenance, and also the examples of applications for the water quality measurement system. And also, this is the material for plastic materials. So please take a look at these later. Thank you very much for your attention.
はい、安川
Thank you very much, Mr. Yasukawa. We'll move on to the next presentation. The next presentation will be by the Japan Education Center of Environmental Sanitation, and the presenter is Mr. Shinji Kumokawa.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Kumokawa from Japan Education Center of Environment Sanitation. Today, I would like to introduce Japanese JOCASO system, which is a Japanese on-site wastewater treatment technology. Next, please. Japan has completed the diffusion of sanitation systems in a relatively short period of time by constructing sewage system in urban area and in parallel promoting JOCASO installation in rural and suburban areas. Next, please. Next, please. In Japan, JOCASO are installed as a main facility for domestic wastewater in areas where sewage service is not available. Other than JOCASO, there are old-type JOCASO and vault toilets that treat only toilet wastewater. However, new construction of the old-type JOCASO is banned. The conversion of the old-type JOCASO to normal JOCASO remains a challenge for Japan. Next, please. JOCASO is a facility to treat all wastewater generated from houses and is mainly installed and used in individual houses in Japan. In JOCASO, the activities of microorganisms are utilized to decompose organic matter in wastewater. The treated water is disinfected with chlorine disinfectant and then discharged to rivers and the other water bodies. Next, please. In order to guarantee the treatment performance, JOCASO must comply with the treatment method and the structure specified by the government, or must pass the performance evaluation test conducted by a third-party organization. This is designated by the government. JOCASO can only be manufactured and go to the market after being certified by the government. JOCASO can install in individual houses and commercial facilities for wastewater treatment. In addition, JOCASO can be classified into BOD removal type, nitrogen phosphorus removal type, and BOD advanced treatment type based on their treatment performance. Next, please. In order to ensure JOCASO have the good treatment performance as designed, JOCASO should be properly installed, maintained, dislodged, and inspected. With the JOCASO Act that enacted in 1883, a legal framework was established. Based on the law, technical standard for JOCASO construction, operation and maintenance, dislodging, and legal inspection, as well as a training system for JOCASO technicians, were established. During a normal maintenance inspection, works such as the measurement of the effluent quality, the replacement of disinfectant, the check of the attached equipment such as a blower, and the verification of sludge accumulation are performed. During dislodging operation, the accumulated sludge in the tanks is dislodged. The sludge is transported to a sludge treatment facility for further treatment. During the legal inspection, it is checked whether the installation, maintenance, and the dislodging have been properly performed and whether the treated effluent has reached the predetermined water quality. Next, please. Recently, Japanese JICA has been attracting attention from overseas as an effective sanitation solution for developing countries. The Ministry of the Environment of Japan has been playing a leading role in promoting overseas JICA expansion by holding workshops and seminars to introduce Japanese JICA system overseas, providing technical materials and video teaching materials related to JICA, and conducting JICA needs survey in developing countries. Next, please. The number of Japanese JICA installed overseas is increasing year by year, and as of the end of 2020, about 37,000 JICA have been installed in more than 49 countries around the world, and about 90% of them are installed in Asia. Next, please. With the increasing demand for JICA in Asian countries, JICA manufacturers are expanding their overseas business, JICA business, and the local production of JICA is progressing. In particular, the JICA business is active in China, Southeast Asia, and South Asia. Next, please. Fujikuri Industry, the biggest company in JICA industry in Japan, is developing JICA business mainly in the tourist resort in Asia. Next, please. JECES is the first JICA manufacturer to establish a JICA production base overseas and is actively promoting JICA business from Southeast Asia to South Asia and Africa. Next, please. Kubota, a famous JICA manufacturer in Japan, develops JICA business mainly in China, Vietnam, and Myanmar. Kubota have exported and sold more than 30,000 JICA overseas. Next, please. To further promote JICA expansion in developing countries in the future, it is necessary to solve the issues related to the three pillars shown here: hardware, software, and the dissemination policies based on the Japan's experience. In particular, it is important to standardize JICA product, introduce a certification system, implement appropriate installation, operation, and maintenance, and training the technicians engaged in JICA businesses. Japan's JICA system has become well-known in the world. We believe that JICA will continue to contribute to solving sanitation and the environment problems around the world, especially in developing countries. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kumokawa. Now, next presentation is on the Kinsei Sangyo. The presentation will be given by Ms. Ryoko Yoko. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Ryoko Yoko of Kinsei Sangyo. I would like to talk about that incinerator of the infectious medical waste. That the medical waste, or that the incineration is the most the safest treatment method. First of all, let me start with the introduction of the company. Kinsei Sangyo was established in March 1967 with the technology of dry distillation, gasification, or incinerator. And a few years ago, that we installed our equipment in Thailand in the JICA, or for the JICA's project. So let me go into the body of the presentation. So how to treat infectious medical waste. I'm going through the process one by one. That the upper left picture is the new coronavirus. So with that infectious power that's been spread all over the world in a short time period. So all of the equipment and the tools, medical tools used for treating this disease, and are generated as the infectious medical waste from the plastic containers or rubber gloves or tubes are put in the white box in the picture and covered. And once it's covered, we are not able to open it again. So the medical waste treatment, and about the medical waste treatment, there are 4 areas: that combustion and the melting and the microwave and the autoclave. So for the incineration, that the dry distillation, gasification, and other incineration methods are available. Number 1, for disappearance of the infectivity, but the infectivity disappear with the incineration or melting but autoclaving or microwave is not as effective as the other. And for pre-treatment, before inputting the waste for incineration, other incineration system, you need some pre-treatment process. However, with our equipment, you don't need the pre-treatment. So that white box or white bucket can be input into the incinerator as they are without any preparation, the pre-treatment, meaning that our equipment would be the best among them. And for air pollutant, volume reduction, or running cost, or initial cost, energy recovery, for all of the items, particularly for the energy recovery, our equipment is most effective or efficient. So I told about the gasification and what the gasification is all about. The gasification is a chemical reaction. When you put a fire on the candle, that the candle itself does not burn. So when you put the fire in the core of the candle, then that it starts burning with the flame, and then the gas is generated, and the gasification started, and those gasified temperature will be continued, and then that carbon and oxygen around the flame will be combined in the ambient. And that generate that H2O or the CO2. So this is about the combustion. So the case says the dry distillation technology is along with the philosophy or the principle of this. Now I would like to talk about our product. The first, on the left-hand side, that you input those. The waste, those which are in the plastic bags or in a carbonated box, can be inputted as they are directly, and then while supplying that oxygen, then that it generate the gas. So in the gas chamber, that gasification takes place using the heat provided from the bottom, and those inflammable gas, activated gas, goes to the furnace, and then that it is mixed with the oxidation for the complete combustion. And in order to maintain the temperature, that the volume of the gas will be automatically controlled. So once the gasification started and stabilized, it's not used. We don't need that combustion agent is not needed. And that is the feature of our technology. So this is for the safe treatment of the operations and maintenance and the cost effectiveness. In terms of them, ours is the server. So this is Kinsey's dry distillation gasification system. From the left-hand side one is compact model, which was demonstrated in Phuket for the JICA's project. And the right-hand side, the larger one is Type GB, our main product. And this is used, this equipment is used by the waste management company. And next is about our Thailand project of China. That this was installed in the hospitals or the university hospitals of Chiang Mai, and this was designed to combust about 1,000 tons of infectious waste. And normally, so far in totally, and normally that this treat the 6 tons per day, and about 5% up to 5% of total waste is COVID-19 related waste. And so far, this disinfection has been completely performed. These are the references of our installation. The left-hand side of 5 pictures is about the compact type or small type, mainly for the hospitals. And the one that we used at Chiang Mai for the JICA project is included. And the right-hand side are the large-scale one. So besides the one that we installed in Chiang Mai in University Hospital, the other one, that's the larger one, would be the capacity of 6 tons, and which can generate the power. And our equipment can achieve the stable combustion, able to combust stably, meaning that thermal collection can be stably done. So these are the questions and its answers. The number one, we have the impression that the incinerator is not good. Does incineration emit noxious gas? Right. But that was the old story, the story in the past. They are incineration considering the global environment. It does not emit any gas. Number two, does they need wide space? No, our system is so compact, they need just small spaces. Number three, is they need long period for the construction. No, small size can be installed in a day. Number four, are they expensive? No, the Kinsey's equipment has a simple structure, so they are not so expensive. So let me touch upon SDGs. So there's nothing new about SDGs for us, and our equipment is in line with SDGs concept. And this our equipment can address the 7 goals, and it contributes resolving the issues in advanced and advanced or industrialized or industrializing countries. So the conclusion, incineration is the best solution to the infectious medical waste, and dry distillation gasification combustion system is especially excellent, and Kinsey is familiar or knows the combustion scientifically very well, and Kinsey's dry distillation gasification combustion system is one and only technology in the world. Kinsey's incinerator is contributing for the environmental preservation. Thank you for your attention, and to meet your needs, that we are able to provide our solutions. Your opinions, comments, and questions are always welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Yoko. Next, I would like to introduce Lixil Company Corporation. Mr. Sakata, please start the presentation. Thank you for the introduction. My name is Sakata from Lixil Corporation, and today I would like to talk about the global strategy, sanitation and hygiene strategy of Lixil. Next page, please. So Lixil was established in 2011, which is a merger of the 5 companies. And so for the we have also acquired the Grohe of Germany and also American Standard in the area of hygiene, and products are used in more than 140 countries across the world. And we have formulated the CR strategy, and in the areas where we have businesses, we select the challenges which is urgent and relevant, focusing on the following 3 areas, so that we can contribute to improvement of quality of life, and we're promoting such initiative internally. And there are 3 pillars to the CR strategy. 1 is global sanitation and hygiene. 2nd, water conservation and environmental sustainability. And 3, diversity and inclusion. And we have these 3 pillars in promoting CR. So today I would like to talk about global sanitation and hygiene area, or the pillar, which is promoted by the department I belong to. And so we have the slogan for this, which is Sanitation for All by 2025, improve the livelihood of 100 million people through sanitation and hygiene initiatives. Next, please. Next, I would like to talk about our strategy for global sanitation and hygiene. Next, please. So you can, this page. And for your information, yes. So this shows the reality and sanitation challenges. And at the moment, 1.7 billion people globally lack access to basic sanitation. And on top of that, when it comes to the economic loss, it's about 22 trillion yen. The economic value is lost simply because of lack of access to basic sanitation and toilets, and with lack of the sanitation facilities and the clean water. 80% of illnesses in the developing countries is linked to poor water and sanitation every day. 700 children lose their lives due to lack of sanitation, which is a tragic situation. And you can see the pyramid here. And at Lixil, we have several brands. The luxury premium segment at the top of the pyramid, to mass production, or the area which is called value. And so we have wide range of products. And we are now proceeding is the what is called the bottom of pyramid, to provide the basic sanitation system for people in need. Next, please. And you can see in this picture, this is one of the toilets we deliver, called the Sato Pan. And since 2013, we started a project in Bangladesh. And the characteristics is that it is affordable price. It's only a few dollars per piece. And for instance, in the case of Bangladesh, one piece is $2. That is the sales price. And because this is the toilet, the installation is a must. And so the Sato pan has the very simple structure, which can be installed very quickly and simply. And also in developing countries, in many cases, they don't have a lot of water available, and the Sato pan allows the rinsing easier with a small amount of water. And we develop the products according to the needs of the country. So the picture at the top is the basic form, and on the bottom you can see the products for Africa as well. And so according to the needs of the local customs, we produce appropriate products. And under COVID, our designer was concerned about the the following, because in these areas they don't have enough water or the tap water, and which hinders them from washing hands. And even if the society has the habit of custom of washing hands, they may be able to wash their hands when they're outside of the house, but then they may not be able to wash their hands at home. So we developed a product that helps the washing hands at home. It's called a Sato tap, and those who have visited the developing countries know that the PET bottles are available anywhere. So all you need to do is to fill the plastic bottle with water and install it to the Sato tap. And by being able to wash hands at home, the infection risks can be reduced. And that's one of the benefits. And also this is the simple products that can also be produced in the developing countries as well. And so it is so designed that easy production is also available. And JICA also has a project for the hygiene and also fingernail cutting. And so along with those projects, the Sato tap is used, and it is very well received. And under COVID situation, it was difficult for any company to launch new products, but we developed this product in 2011, and the Time magazine of the US actually gave us an award for the Sato tap for being one of the most excellent products under COVID. And because we are manufacturers, we have technology for manufacturing goods. And first thing we do is to identify the needs and the challenges of each country to determine what products to be delivered to each country. And along with the local people, we identified issues and tried to solve problems together. And what's more important is the local production and local consumption. And without the scheme, if we try to do the same as we do in Japan, then it will not be possible for us to do the same locally. So we partner with the local company so that the products can be produced locally and consumed locally. So we're creating a cycle of make, sell, use locally is the key. So by running this cycle continuously and sustainably, the products can be produced and used. So we are working to establish such a system. And this shows the sales units so far. And we shipped more than 5.1 million units. And we contributed to the improving the quality of life of the 25 million people, and we'll continue with this project and work to continue to contribute to the improvement of quality of life in many countries. And in closing, we have a number of local partners inside and outside of Japan. And as we proceed, we partner with these companies. And so although we have been proceeding with this Sato project since 2013, but one company alone cannot achieve much. And so using the toilet, the night soil has to be treated. And so it has to be, so there was a mention of the septic tank. So the ecosystem of the treating the night soil is also very important, and one company alone cannot do this. So we would like to collaborate with the number of partners, and we're always seeking such opportunities. And so if any companies or the organizations are interested in working with us, please contact us so that we can seek the business opportunities or the project opportunities. Thank you very much.
はい、坂田様ありがとう。
Thank you very much, Mrs. Sakata. We will move on to the next presentation by Chuwa Industrial Company Limited by Mr. Iwao Kuniaki. Hello, I am Imao from Chuwa Industrial Company Limited. I'd like to talk about our safe and secure disposal method of medical waste use of the Chuwa Star incinerator. In order to create clean and healthy cities, incinerators are an essential part of the infrastructure. I'd like to introduce our environmentally friendly anti-pollution smokeless incinerator, Chuwa Star. Our company is Chuwa Industrial Company Limited. The capital is 10 million JPY. We were founded in 1969. We have been operating for over half a century. In Japan, we have a saying that says something might be small but still pack a punch. Like the saying goes, we are a small company, but we do have a presence in the incinerator industry as a small giant. Now, medical waste in one word can contain many different types of waste. There can be some things that are hazardous, some things that may make people feel uncomfortable, and some things that people are not sure how to treat. But just because people don't know how to treat the waste, people must not be disposing them in rivers or burning them in open fields or trying to bury them in the ground. These are inappropriate methods of waste treatment, and these practices should not be allowed. We believe we need appropriate practices to handle the medical waste. So what is the best way to manage medical wastes? And the answer is incineration. Incineration is the best way to manage medical waste for 3 reasons. First of all, we can achieve complete sterilization through incineration. Number 2, the processing time is short. In a second, the waste will turn to ash. Number 3, incineration can really reduce the huge volume of waste. The volume will actually become 3% of the original volume in terms of weight. So these are the 3 advantages of incineration, and so we believe that incineration is the best way to manage medical waste. We have 2 major characteristics of the Chuwa Star product incinerator. Number 1, it's a water-cooled structure. Number 2, we have tiny holes in the incinerator which forces the air supply into the incinerator. And because this is a water-cooled system, we have excellent durability. And it's highly safe. People do not need to worry about getting burned, etc., through the high temperature. And so because the heat is taken care of with the water cooling, it's safe. And so, and also, this can be, the heat can be recycled to warm up the water for your bath and shower and washing, etc. And as for the second characteristic, which is the forced air supply method, we have 3 characteristics. Number 1, we can do smokeless incineration. Now, when you burn tires, for example, you can see a lot of black smoke coming out of the flames. But with our incinerator, we can do smokeless incineration. And the speed of burning is really fast. And number 3, hospital medical waste have a lot of mixed types of waste. But with our incinerator, it's possible to burn all of the mixed waste. So inside of the incinerator, we force the air supply. And what we have taken a hint from is, you can see this. This is a bamboo blow pipe that has a tiny hole here. So if I blow into this blowpipe, then I can increase the intensity of the flames. This is a traditional bamboo blowpipe that has been used in Japan for many years. And so what we have done for Chuwastar is we have used the mechanism of this blowpipe in order to force feed the air supply. And so here I have a lighter. And you can see the flame here. Now this is an incomplete combustion. You can see the black ash adhering to this plate here. So now if we apply the blowpipe principle or mechanism, sorry. So I put the lighter into this kind of a device to simulate the blowpipe. So in this way, even if you apply this plate to the flame, you can see there's no black soot coming out. That's what we have done with the Chuwastar incinerator. We use water cooling and we use the bamboo blowpipe method for the combustion. Now, Chuwastar has a vertical type and a horizontal type. And we have type F, 4 models, and AP type, 7 models, CX type, 5 models. And the capacity is somewhere between 10 kilograms to 300 kilograms. So our incinerators, which have a capacity of more than 300 kilograms per hour, this incinerator is impossible to smoothly operate just by manpower. And so the structure is all automated from input and taking out the ash. And so the left-hand side picture is our CX300 model, which is capable of processing 300 kilograms per hour. The right-hand side is our CX800 model, which can handle 800 kilograms per hour. And for any incinerator for 300 kilograms or more, we can design a custom capacity, and we can operate 24 hours and can process over 20 tons per day. We export to 35 companies across the world. In Southeast Asia, we export to almost all the countries. In Vietnam, we supply to 360 hospitals. These hospitals use Chuwastar. We are currently focusing our efforts in Africa. And with support from JICA, we have supplied to Morocco. And with help from UNIDO, we have exported to Senegal, Madagascar, and also to Guinea. And so we have supplied products to 5 countries in Africa. And on the 11th of this month, we have supplied to Bangladesh, which brings the number of countries we supply our units to 36 countries. Chuwastar's goals are to focus on the Sustainable Development Goals number 3, 11, and 12. And we are focusing our efforts to helping achieve these goals. As our corporate philosophy, we hope to use Chuwastar so that throughout the world, we will be able to achieve a sustainable and better environment. So that is the vision we work towards in our day-to-day activities. On a side note, Chuwastar is a combination between Chuwa, which means to neutralize, Wa as in waste, and then industrial as in industrial solution. We hope that you will be interested in our solutions. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Iwao. Now, let's move on to next. This Ms. Mihoko Kifuji, President, Kankyo Bunseki Kenkyujo, and Mr. Tahara from Showa Eisei Center and Mr. Honda from Kansui. And good afternoon, everyone. My name is Honda of Kansui, which is working together with the Kankyo Bunseki Kenkyujo, and I'm Tahara from Showa Eisei Center. Today, I would like to talk about the project, JICA's project verification survey with the private sector for dissemination of Japanese technologies for improvement of domestic wastewater treatment in Vietnam. And firstly, let's talk a little bit about JOCASO. In Japan, based on the Private Sewage System Act, installation of JOCASO is required when new buildings are constructed outside of a sewer plant area. And performance evaluation testing system for JOCASO is in place to assure the performance of JOCASO, which are sold in the market. With that, in case that the JOCASO for the influent BOD is 200 milligrams per liter, effluent BOD must be 20 milligrams per liter or less. The septic tanks, which are widely used in the developing countries, treat only black water, while JOCASO treat gray water as well as black water with a high treatment performance by combining anaerobic treatment and aerobic treatment for sewage water treatment. Another advantage is that its footprint could be smaller than dayweed at the Sanimas or constructed wetland. On the other hand, it is required to do appropriate periodic maintenance, such as dislodging for JOCASO system to perform expected treatment level. Without appropriate treatment level would be equivalent to the septic tanks. Next slide, please. Yes. This is an image of JOCASO system installed. In Japan, the system is installed underground to treat black water from toilet and gray water from kitchen or washing machines. Treated sewage is chlorinated in JOCASO and drained into waterway or river. Septic tanks, which treat sewage mainly with anaerobic treatment, do not need electricity, but JOCASO uses blower for septic aerobic treatment with electricity. Recent blowers need less energy. For example, electricity consumption of the blower for small JOCASO with airflow of 60 liters per minute is about 40 watts. JICA's verification survey with the private sector for disseminating Japanese technologies for improvement of domestic wastewater treatment through introducing JOCASO in Hygiene in Vietnam aims at disseminating JOCASO technology with our counterpart, Ministry of Natural Resource and Environment of Vietnam and Huen Province government. We have installed JOCASO at 3 locations in Huen Province. One large unit of 200 cubic meters of treated sewage at the collective housing area, 2 medium-scale units of 25 cubic meters at the kindergarten, 2 small-scale units of 3.5 cubic meters at single-family dwellings. There have been 1,325 units of JOCASO installed in Vietnam. Against a backdrop of increasing environmental awareness and economic power, demand for wastewater treatment facilities with high treatment performance is increasing, and local manufacturers have started production and selling similar products. However, in Vietnam, There is no third-party performance evaluation mechanism, unlike Japan, which means products without performance evaluation could be distributed into the market. In order to disseminate JOCASO with assured performance and operate them stably after installation, we think they need to implement performance evaluation testing system and rules for construction and dislodging in Vietnam. By solving these issues, JOCASO systems will take root in Vietnam sustainably. Next slide, please. In this project, we surveyed operational conditions of small-scale JOCASO units which have been installed at single-family dwellings in the past project. We found problems occurred due to inappropriate construction or insufficient performance due to lack of periodic dislodging. Going forward, for the purpose of disseminating appropriate installation and appropriate operation and maintenance of decentralized wastewater treatment systems, including JOCASO systems, we would like to propose a draft province ordinance to the government of Hưng Yên province, which will complement the existing act in Vietnam. With that, I would like to conclude our presentations. If you have any questions, we would like to answer to them. Oh, Mr. Kikuchi and Mr. Tawara, thank you. Mr. Honda, thank you very much. Can we raise questions? And from the audience, if you have any questions, please input or post your questions into chat box. No. All right. Then the chat box will be always available going forward. And then, let me again inform you that this on the event hub online, there are the exhibition corners. Those companies which have been making the presentation are participating to that exhibition. Please visit to the exhibition site.
Now we would like to move on to the next company. Biomass Resin Holdings will be presenting, and Mr. Maki Deguchi, please start the presentation. Thank you.
Initiative and everyone. My name is Maki Deguchi. Today I'd like to introduce you a great Japanese innovation of biomass plastic made of rice. As you can see, this is a picture of Himalayas, my home. I was protecting wildlife and nature as a nature conservator in Nepal. But since 2020, I have been introducing and promoting rice plastic innovation as a new potential resource from Japan. Next, please. So today I am introducing you about rice plastic innovation to the world. It is biomass plastic from Japan. We call it rice resin. Next, please. The raw material for biomass plastic is rice. And you may know that Japanese produce a lot of rice to eat. However, this time, the raw material is not the rice we eat. It is collected waste from the rice production and its industry, including the market. We use unique technology to upcycle those rice that has not been used as a feed, such as old rice, crushed rice, damaged rice, and etc. Next, please. Rice resin is invented and produced by Biomass Resin Holdings from Japan. Next, please. Now, allow me to introduce you about the company. It took nearly 20 years to develop this innovation and technology of rice resin for our CEO, Kamiya, and other chief executive as founders. In the March of 2020, we formed a holding company, and under its umbrella, there are operating companies for various sections and purposes. Our resin factory is located in Niigata Prefecture, where we produce the largest amount of rice in Japan and we are constructing factories in Kumamoto and Fukushima next. Next, please. Rice resin can mix up to 70% of rice with conventional petroleum-based plastic, such as polypropylene and polyethylene. In other words, the content of petroleum-based plastics can be significantly reduced. Next, please. And there are two types of biomass plastics in the market, which are biodegradable and non-biodegradable plastics. And our basic rice resin is non-biodegradable material. Therefore, it is suitable for one-way use of plastic product because CO2 can be significantly reduced when burned them as a garbage waste. This contributes to the Japanese government petroleum plastic reduction target and CO2 emission reduction during incineration. Next, please. Regarding CO2 emissions from non-energy sources, the rice plastic can be reduced during incineration compared to the petroleum-based plastics. For example, in the case of plastic bag with the rice content of 25%, it can be reduced about 25% when incinerated. This is because rice absorbs CO2 during its growth, so it is carbon neutral observing CO2 generated during incineration. Next, please. Biomass Resin Holdings utilized abundant farmlands and launched a project to produce a new potential resource rice, which will be used as a raw material for this rice resin. Currently, we are conducting resource rice in Niigata and Fukushima prefectures. Next, please. Last year, our group company started to grow a potential resource rice in Namie, Fukushima, in the size of 3-hectare paddy. Town of Namie is disaster-stricken area that was severely damaged by the 2011 great earthquake in around Fukushima. We hope that our resource rice cultivation will help and rebuild the region soon. Next year, we would like to further expand and increase the scale of the paddies, and in the future, we would like to utilize AI and DX to enable unmanned and automated farming resource rice project from there. Next, please. Due to the new trends and change in the food culture and lifestyle, recently, the demand for eating rice is decreased year by year in Japan. As a result, many farmers have left rice farming. This caused about 420,000 hectares of abundant farmland in such a small country now, which is twice the size of Tokyo. By 2025, we plan to grow resource rice on approximately 10,000 hectares abundant farmland in Japan. We believe this will help and support many rice farmers as well as Japan's agriculture and economy. Next, please. Our joint development with the Kyoto University have released a new biodegradable plastic called HORIBA recently. This chart shows you the biodegradability progress of the rice resin film HORIBA from 0 to 15 days and 30 days after burying them in the soil. Next, please. Okay, now let me introduce the rice resin product on the market already. Starting with the building blocks with a rice content of 51%, shopping bags installed at 24,000 post offices all over in Japan, municipal garbage bags for the Minami Wonoma city, and rice chopstick used at the Ministers' Agriculture Summit in Niigata. Next, please. In addition, rice plastic products for home and kitchen goods, disposable hotel amenities such as combs and toothbrushes, SDGs badge made of rice, and the rice straw and stationaries and lunch boxes can be used at school. Next, please. And there are bags that can be used in the various situations like these pictures. Next, please. And at the Japan's leading international music event, most biggest event is the Fuji Rock Festival, and rice resin garbage bag were certified and distributed to all the visitors in 2021. Next, please. Our business has received high praises from various ministries and agencies in Japan. For example, the Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Economy, Trade, Industry, the Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries, etc. are some of them. Next, please. With our strengths, we are planning to expand in 10 locations in Japan, such as Hokkaido, Hokuriku, Kansai, Kochi by 2025. Next, please. Also, we are aiming to start setting up factories in Asian countries, such as China, Vietnam, Thailand, Singapore, Indonesia, because they have the similar rice culture like Japan. Next, please. And some of our overseas projects has been started for like following. Thailand surveying the necessity of a biodegradable plastic as the market and to ease the marine plastic pollutions. And Africa, a project to promote biomass plastic for packing materials and raw material that contribute to improve environmental issues in Africa. Next, please. Besides rice resin, Biomass Resin Holding has the technologies and experiences of coffee resin, wood resin, soba, buckwheat resin, and bamboo resin as well. Next, please. Our slogan is Plastic Innovation for Tomorrow. We are looking for partners to join us on the journey to change the world with the rice resin. We strive to be an environmental venture company that brings people across the world together through mutual recognition and collaboration. As I said at the beginning, I hope that the rice will become a potential new resource that can replace petroleum and that humanity will be able to wean itself off the fossil fuel as soon as possible and continue to live on the earth while protecting the environment. Thank you for the watching until the end. This concludes my presentation of rice resin. If you have any questions and any inquiries, please leave your message or email at the Zoom comment. Let's spread the rice resin and Earth love consciousness to everyone. Thank you. This is my whole presentation. Namaste.
はい、出口様ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much, Mr. Deguchi.
では続きまして
We'll move on to the next presentation by Hinode Sangyo Company Limited. The presenter is Ms. Kaori Fujita. Good afternoon. I am Kaori Fujita from Hinode Sangyo Company Limited. Today, I'd like to talk about Hinode Sangyo's activities regarding the environment, the SDGs, and our HMPS, including case studies. Hinode Sangyo is based in Yokohama City. Our company was established in 1976, and we constantly aim for new technologies and contribute to environmental conservation through water treatment. Under this corporate policy, we focus on providing clean water all over the world, and through our hygienic wastewater treatment, we look to contribute to enabling a sustainable society to further increase our corporate value. Next slide, please. Our business is largely comprised of 4 key business areas with international technology transfer projects and projects for the education of the next generation. Our core business is the production and sales of agents for effluent treatment. Since the time of the company's foundation, we have been handling effluent treatment agents, developing our own unique microorganism agents and emulsifying agents. We also have an environment-related quantification business in which we analyze water quality and microorganisms to provide evidence-based proposals to customers. We also design, construct, and maintain effluent treatment facilities, providing total solutions and comprehensive services. Our microbial agent development and design of the dispersed bacteria treatment system, HMBS, Hinode Micro Bubble System, have been used in JICA and UNIDO demonstration projects, and also by many companies in Japan since 2014. Agents, bacteria, systems, and green technology, which is the theme of today's seminar, comprise the pillars of our company's strategy. And we are currently working on the next generation education projects as part of our overseas technology transfer efforts. If you would like to know more detail about Hinode Sangyo, please visit our website. From here, I'd like to talk about HMBS, the Hinode microbubbler system. This is HMB, the Hinode microbubbler. With the microbubble generator, we increase the dissolved oxygen levels to make the bacteria more active, and organic matter in the wastewater is equalized through the dispersed bacteria treatment method. We call this the HMB system, and it's a completely new method which makes wastewater treatment easier. This is the combination result, the dispersed bacteria treatment system, HMBS, which takes our core product, the highly functional microbial agents LBIC-BZ, and combines it with the Hinode microbubbler, the HMB. This is the processing flow, and as you can see, compared to the conventional activated sludge process on the upper half of the slide, our equipment on the lower half of the slide, HMBS, you can see that compared to the conventional activated sludge process, the equipment is more compact or smaller, and it's easier to manage. And the microbubble generator, the HMB's air intake functionality, helps reduce the power consumption. The process is fully aerobic, which helps reduce the odors that are associated with effluent treatment plants. This is a case example from a Japanese food processing factory that produces bento box lunches. The treated wastewater is 300 tons per day. Since the system was installed, it's been approximately 10 years, and we have not seen any deterioration of the treated water quality, and there have been no problems occurring. And on the slide here, I have the whole process from raw water microbial processed on the lower right of the slide. From this slide, I'd like to provide some background for some of the SDGs friendly technologies that we have, as well as their potential for use. First of all, around the world, we're seeing increased levels of water risk and water stress. Factors contributing to the stress are depletion of water resources and increased water usage brought about by further industrialization of developing nations. We have challenges related to securing drinking water, but also agricultural water, and in wastewater treatment, we are seeing water pollution from eutrophication and chemical contamination. These challenges need to be solved. So as Hinode Sangyo thought of solutions that help the SDGs, we first looked to prioritize the social challenges, considering who or which place should be given priority, also what is needed, and what are the methods that can be passed on to future generations. Also, what is the desirable method of development and technology transfer? Also, what is the right business model? These are the things we constantly think about when we search for solutions. This slide shows an example of HMBS implemented in an agricultural village. Since 2016, Hinode Sangyo has been working on the ABE initiative, Innovative Asia, and other African and Asian student internships. This is because in order to implement SDGs green technology overseas, we first need to understand the challenges of the local people. We found that the major challenges that students from Asia and Africa faced were agricultural wastewater and sludge treatment, and also using the treated water for irrigation. This slide shows a microbubble generator installed in an agricultural wastewater plant in Chiba Prefecture. A common issue that is seen in wastewater treatment is how to treat excess sludge. main methods for treatment include incineration and landfill, but these have a significant impact to CO2 emissions and river and marine pollution. So as a solution, our company's patented technology was used in the system that we employed. And here we implemented a new system, a dissolved oxygen enhancement using our microbial agent Elbic-BZ and HMB, and a patented technology for condensed culture medium with bacteriostatic agent. This way we created the Elbic-NEO system. And this is an example of how wastewater treatment can be done in a stable manner, drying the sludge so it can be used for agricultural use. This chart shows the percentage of sludge in industrial waste. The sludge accounts for 43.4% of industrial waste. If you look at the discharge of industrial waste, approximately 160 million tons of sludge is discharged per year, accounting for 43.4%, the largest constituent of industrial waste. And this is an example from Japan. And for the interns who come from agricultural countries, sludge is the most important resource that should be reused. This technology still has room for improvement, but through this initiative, we were able to make a bit of progress towards using our patented technology to contribute to Africa and Asia. And this slide shows the countries of this, where the students are from. We have 26. Actually, this year we have students from 28 different countries participating in the internship over the past 5 years. And we have many students and researchers who build partnerships with us. So what I have talked about so far is one example of SDGs technology or green technology. I'd like to talk a bit about where this technology is used overseas. The project on this slide used the JICA scheme to address the wastewater treatment problems at the Cagayan de Oro Hotel in Mindanao to decrease the percentage of infant death caused by contaminated water, and also to reduce marine pollution, as the sea is a tourism resource for the Philippines. So we set up a joint venture with local company and also found business partners. We have conducted hygiene awareness raising seminars also. But the new water regulation in the Philippines was very difficult to actually handle with the technology we had then. And so for BOD and COD, this project was able to achieve good results. But for phosphorus and ammonia or nitrogen reduction, we have some remaining issues. So we are currently proposing adding the A2O method as a pre-processing step for the HMBS. There's another example I'd like to share, and this is the one we are currently doing in Morocco through the UNIDO Tokyo office scheme. As mentioned earlier, we are doing this remotely, and so there's no wastewater treatment facility in this agricultural area in Morocco, and the place is very vulnerable. And so the project implemented wastewater treatment facilities and created a system for using the treated water for agricultural use. The patented technology we used is shown in circle on this slide. We are looking to use our NEO system using the concentrated culture to establish a business in future through microbial agent culture. In the water treatment industry, our company has worked on technology development and obtained industrial property rights. These initiatives can be seen from various different factors. As with the SDGs in this slide, we hope our technology will be used through partnerships in a diverse manner. Lastly, I'd like to talk about our future direction. We need to confirm if our technology is really useful, if it will solve problems, if it can adapt to rapidly changing international situations and regulations, and also can it generate business. We need to think of technical innovation and talent development in order to realize this, and a challenge in coming up with technologies and strategies that help us expand lies in coming up with technologies and strategies that help us expand from the domestic market. Most important is our partners in the front lines. We want to confirm and select effective bacteria that exist in various countries and constantly striving for new technology and work together with you to realize novel water treatment technologies. Thank you.
りがとうございました。
はい、藤田様、ありがとう。
Ms. Fujita, thank you very much. Now, let's move on to next presentation from the Goon company. So, Mr. Mim, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Leming. I'm cooking at Blue Economy Lab of Goon Company. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to have this presentation with you today. I'll be talking about our recycling technology with environment-friendly fuel from plastic waste. Next, please. So there are three parts in this presentation. First, the introduction of Goon Company. The second is the UNIDO video, and the last is the Goon's business in the Philippines. Next, please. So here's a quick overview of our company. Yes, our headquarters is located in Kanagawa District, Yokohama City, Kanagawa Prefecture, with 60 active employees. We also have an office in Minato Mirai and a branch in the Philippines. Our main business is two types of waste recycling. First, we produce biomass fuel from timber waste and wooden pellets generated from factory and construction sites. Second, we produce fuel called flood fuel that derive from the plastic waste using plastic waste also generated by factory and construction sites. Next, please. So now I would like, wait a moment, please. Wait a moment, please. Yeah, okay, thank you. So I would like to share a video about Goon business with the flood fuel technology and the abuse of its factory and office located in Kanagawa province, Japan. In this video, you will see a unique technology named flood fuel that we use in Japan and the Philippines. As you may know, caloric value of flood fuel is about the same as coal and oil, about 6,500 to 8,000 kilocalories per kilogram, but have a lower carbon content over fossils. So it can be used with about 17% less carbon dioxide emissions. By the way, this video was filmed by UNIDO organization. So let's go ahead and watch the video. So please.
プラスチックの利用が増加し、その廃棄物が増える中、リユースやリサイクルの取り組みが行われています。しかし、再利用するためには、汚れの洗浄や他の素材との分別にコストがかかるため、すべてのプラスチック廃棄物を再生利用することはできません。再生利用できない廃プラスチックが他の廃棄物とともに埋め立てられ、環境問題となっています。プラフ燃料は廃プラスチックを燃料として活用する技術です。回収された廃プラスチックなどの廃棄物を破砕、選別し、長方形に圧縮し製造します。再生利用が可能な廃プラスチックはマテリアルリサイクルに回します。再生利用で採算を取ることができない汚れているものや選別できない細かいものを有効利用するためにプラフ燃料にします。廃プラスチックから作られる燃料として知られる RPF は廃棄物を加熱処理して作られますが、プラフ燃料は加熱処理をする必要がありません。そのため RPF の製造に必要な電力の3分の1程度の電力で製造ができ、製造過程における CO2 排出量も大幅に削減します。プラフ燃料の熱量は石炭や石油などの化石燃料とほぼ同じで、1kg あたり6500から8000キロカロリーです。しかし、プラフ燃料は化石燃料より炭素含有量が低いため、約 17% の CO2 排出量で使用できます。工場や火力発電所などが石炭の代わりにプラフ燃料を使用することで、化石燃料の使用量と CO2 排出量を大幅に削減できます。また、プラスチックの埋め立て処分を行うことで、懸念される環境中のプラスチックの残留や海洋汚染を防止することができます。国内では2008年から製造を開始し、年間2万2000トンのプラフ燃料を販売しています。海外では2017年から フィリピンのセブ島に工場を設立し、現地のセメント会社へ販売する事業を開始しました。プラフ燃料の使用により削減された CO2 排出量は、将来、二国間クレジット制度の排出権として利用可能なため、本事業は途上国向け低炭素技術イノベーション創出事業として、日本の環境省に採択されています。私たちは今まで埋め立てや単純焼却されていた廃プラスチックを燃料に再生することで地球環境の保全に取り組んでいます。排出権を利用することで持続可能なビジネスモデルを構築できます。新興国で共に取り組んでいくビジネスパートナーを求めています。ご連絡をお待ちしております。
Next, please. So here is a brief history of our activity in the Philippines. It started with a business matching program sponsored by the City of Yokohama White Pot. We conducted a feasibility study and a verification study, which was then followed by the construction and operation of our commercial scale recycling in Cebu. Next, please. Next, please. Here are some photos of our facility in the Philippines. We are manufacturing flat fuel from plastic waste collected over Cebu and selling to local cement company. Next, please. So in cooperation with Mandalay City, we have designed a synchronized waste segregation program. Some idea coming from the African Clean City platform supported by the City of Yokohama was utilized in creating these rules. Next, please. We started processing waste separation and collection from Mandalay City in 2018. As you can see here, inside the blue curve is a recyclable plastics such as plastic sandbag, shampoo sachets, textile trimming, and be shifting from the landfill to processing for flat fuel alternative to coal. Next, please. Here, how we enhance our recycling process. We started off processing 86 tons in the first month with a yield of 65%. Thereafter, thanks to the experience and expertise of Yokohama City and through efforts by officials and staff of Mandalay City, we are now processing more than 500 tons per month with a yield in excess of the 85%. Next, please. So this is our final slide for today. We would like to expand the model to own of the Metro Cebu as well as other cities that have a relationship with the City of Yokohama. With ongoing support from JICA and the City of Yokohama, we are looking forward to continue working with Mandalay City to create and implement a model case that can be adopted for all of Southeast Asia. Next, please. So thank you very much for the listening.
はい、
Thank you very much, Mr. Lemin. The next presentation is from Chicken Enterprise Company Limited, and the presenter is Mr. Toshio Miyaji. Hello. Our company is based in Kariya City in Aichi Prefecture. We are a specialized construction company, and we work on agricultural water systems, sewage water systems, and also electric and communication cables. So what we do is use a micro-tunneling technology to construct small diameter pipes and sewer branches and networks for centralized wastewater treatment in urban cities. If you look at cities around the world, they all evolved from really good-looking planned urban areas. But before you realize, people have converged to these small places, and they end up living in very bad living conditions. In central urban areas, people see traffic jams, and there are densely built residences, And so people sometimes live in really packed, crowded conditions, almost like in an anthill. And so if you try to create infrastructure in such a densely populated area, you would end up having a lot of wasted effort. And because water pipes come with certain pressure, then they are laid in variously relatively shallow ground. But wastewater pipes do need to be installed deep underground. And so if you try to use an open cut method, then you would need to be setting aside a lot of space for the construction to take place. And we need to make sure that people and traffic are in a safe condition. And so if you think of the blocking of traffic, that could cause a lot of damage to the economy. And there's also excavated soils. And also there's the problem of noise that comes with construction. There could be some damage to the surrounding houses. And so there are a lot of unfavorable impacts to surrounding environments. And so the open cut method is not a desirable method. So cities tend to form around favorable locations which have a lot of underground water resources. So that means you would need to have a major construction effort, and the process does get complicated very quickly. And so please go one slide ahead. And so how can we resolve these various problems? Our micro-tunneling technology is a trenchless technology. And so there's no excavation except for the manhole shafts, and the micro-tunneling machine thrust jacking pipes one by one till the first piece of the jacking pipes reach the target manhole. And so with the drive shaft and also the arrival shaft, we will be implementing them, and we will be connecting these shafts with micro-tunneling machines. And then we will be able to complete the construction. And we can also use holes for concrete casing. And this way, we will be completing the installation of the pipes for that area. And so rather than using an open cut method, our micro-tunneling technology has the advantage of a shorter construction schedule. Also, traffic jams and impact on people and the environment are much less compared to conventional methods. It's an environmentally friendly way. And so for the constructions we have done for our projects, we have worked in the water sewage system for Jakarta in Indonesia through the support of JICA. The material here shows a menu of the things that we are able to provide through our business activities. We also have these well point, which we will be pumping out water underground through vacuum pumping. We also have chemical grouting. We use boring machines in order to bore holes in the ground, and we will be injecting chemicals in order to set the ground. We also have a ground anchor method by driving piles into the slope for stabilizing the slope. And we can cover the slope with mortar in order to enhance the strength. There's also the pipeline renewal method. And there's one more picture that I'd like to talk about. This is the shaft construction for manholes, where we can use steel casings and dig inside in order to create vertical shafts. JICA Enterprise Company Limited works in specialized construction. And so where you have problems, we would like to help. We have various construction technologies available that we hope will prove helpful. And today, I'd like to thank you for giving me your time to present. If you have questions, please feel free to contact me by email. Thank you.
はい、宮地様。
Mr. Miyachi, thank you very much.
それでは
All right. And let me introduce our next company, Murata Keisokuki Service. Mr. Yoshimura, floor is yours. I would like to make a presentation on the proposal of wastewater treatment improvement service in industrial park by using automatic monitoring system. My name is Yoshimura from Murata Keisokuki Service. So these are the contents of my presentation. First is about Murata Keisokuki Service, and followed by the products and services to be introduced in this seminar, particularly automatic monitoring system, AMS. Thirdly, Murata's efforts under city-to-city cooperation between Yokohama and Da Nang, Vietnam. And next is introduction of JICA project by using AMS. And lastly, proposal of wastewater treatment improvement service in industrial park by using AMS. Murata Keisokuki Service was established in 1972 in Yokohama City. Main business is environmental survey and measurement services, scientific analysis, development of environment-related systems, and various consulting services. So we are working mainly in the environment area. Here are some of our businesses. First, for the analysis of the water-related matters, dioxin and river water is analyzed, or medicine contained in the river water, or the water quality in the sewage can be also analyzed. And for the overseas business in Japan, those the PM2.5 samplers that JICA technical cooperation projects in for the overseas. We use this device, our device, which are being sold overseas, and that the projects done in Iran, Mongolia, Mexico is done by other companies. However, we are participating in terms of the technological cooperation. So in this seminar, I would like to mainly introduce our automatic monitoring system. So AMS can be used for the real-time monitoring. For example, for the water and environment monitoring. So we collected collected information through this AMS, and which is communicated through internet. For example, the water quality or the abnormality in the data can be found on a real-time basis. And by analyzing data, it can be used for the preventive maintenance by analyzing the data beforehand. And this AMS was used in the JICA's project in Vietnam, and we would like to expand it into the other projects or other locations. And next is about the Murata's effort under city-to-city cooperation between Yokohama and Da Nang, Vietnam. There are some overlaps in the contents with the Yokohama City's government projects. So Yokohama City concluded the memorandum of technological cooperation with the Da Nang City, and they talked about the solution and the planning of the master plan or development of master plan in order to resolve the urban issues in Da Nang City. So under the framework of the two countries' technological cooperation, that we conducted the business feasibility study at Da Nang City from 2018 to 2019. From 2019 to 2021, we participated in Da Nang Urban Development Forum and made a presentation to address the urban issue of city of Da Nang. And from 2022 to now, that the Ministry of Environment, the project is the one that we participated, and we supported the Da Nang City's Environment 10 years plan. And last year, that our proposal or our plan for the commercialization or business operation was adopted by JICA, and we are now preparing for the contract conclusion. And this one is about that the Urban Development Forums event, and that with the counterpart of Da Nang City, we participated, our companies in the Yokohama City was participated. And in this picture, the president of our company is shown, and people in Da Nang, while that they were staying in Japan, that they wanted to know the technology of ours, that they visited our company. And so for SMEs, it's difficult to go into the overseas market by itself. So under such the framework between city-to-city collaboration, it would be a good opportunities for SMEs to expand the business in other markets. So this is about the feasibility study from 2018 to 2019 for the city-to-city collaboration. And for the industrial park in Da Nang City, that we brought our AMS from Japan and conducted the survey for the water quality and to understand the development issue. And for the dissemination and demonstration and the business operation project, which is planned after the conclusion of the contract with the JICA, that AMS will be utilized for the wastewater treatment facilities at the industrial park to monitor the changing water quality on a real-time basis. Again, that our AMS can be used for the wastewater treatment for industrial park. So by using AMS, now that we understand the current status and using the real-time data to find out the countermeasures and to reduce the wastewater treatment cost and improvement of the water quality. And this will be through the project for the technologies, dissemination and the demonstration and the business operation. It will contribute to the solution as a solution for the issues for the developing countries and develop the business for them. And that's all for my presentation. Thank you very much.
はい、吉村様ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much, Mr. Yoshimura. So with that, we have covered all of the presentation pitches by the companies. For the participating companies, we would like to extend our thanks again to you.